Well, there's generally between 2 and 5 high wizards in the world, but the number could be as low as 1 or as high as 10. When I was a high wizard, they keep stats on your magic accuracy. So any spell that you do, unless it's something that's supposed to take place over time, any spell that's supposed to take place over time, you get instant credit for. Otherwise, you have 90 days for your spell to come true. If it comes true, then it's credited for you. And if it doesn't work, I mean, even if it takes 1 days, if it takes 91 days, you don't get credit for it. So I was 91% accurate in my magic. So when this woman gave me the blessed miraculous medal, I knew there was no power, no mystique to this thing. This thing can't touch me. I used to be the high wizard. I could have been the only one high wizard out of 7 billion people. That's a power trip and a half. There's nothing this little worthless gold-colored piece of tin can do to me. So I stuck my hand out for it. She stuck it in my hand, and I clenched my fist around it. And my plans were to toss it on the floor or slam it on my counter and tell her it's worthless. Except that when I clenched my fist around it, my store and my mall completely disappeared. And I'm standing in a darkened void, and this woman, Marianne Wickman, starts telling me about the magic spell I did last night, and that's of the devil. And I've split over 100 churches, and that's of the devil. And I've done over 100 abortions, and that's of the devil. And she tells me about 9 or 10 other sins and ends all of them with, and that's of the devil. And I'm terrified. I at first wanted to attack the woman with magic, but now, she just, as a high wizard, I did not have the power to give somebody a gold-colored, worthless piece of tin, transport both of us to a darkened void, and know all their sins. I wasn't that powerful, and I was 91% accurate. I had a lot of power, but I didn't have the power to do what she could do to me. So I was terrified. I wanted to let go of the medal, but what happens if I drop it and I fall through this darkened void and I don't find my way back? And, I don't know what to do. So Mary showed up in time to rescue me because I was scared to death.
And did Jesus also appear, or only the Virgin Mary?
No, it was Mary showed up. She smiled at me, a smile I knew I did not deserve. I was acutely aware of my 146 assisted abortions. And she took me by the hand, and the hand that had the medal in it, and she turned me around, and Divine Mercy Jesus was standing behind me. And I didn't know what Divine Mercy was. I just had these rays of light shooting under me and over me and around me and through me. And in that instant, I knew I had not sold my soul to the devil when I was 13. I knew that Jesus was my Lord and Savior. I knew that all my occultism, my magic, my New Age, and my Satanism was false. And I knew everything Catholic was truth. And the Blessed Mother told me my job was to help her end abortion. And I opened my hand and I was back in my store, back in my mall. And this woman, Marianne Wickman, told me where she went to Mass. And while she's talking to me, she tells me that she's Father Joseph Whalen's personal assistant. And, at this time, he's going deaf. And when he talks like everybody is going deaf. So he talks really loud. And while she's talking to me about him being, she's the personal assistant, and he doesn't really even have time to talk to her, the phone rings. And she picks it up. She goes, "This is Father Joe. I've got to take this." I was like, "Oh, sure. You just explained it's the busiest priest you know. Go ahead." So she answers the phone. She's like, "Hello, Father Joe." And you can hear him. He says, "Hello, can you hand the phone to the young man you're talking to?" And, she's like, "Certainly." So she hands the phone to me, and I'm like shaking like Ozzy Osbourne. I'm like, "Hello?" Welcome to the faith. Hand the phone back to Marianne. So I hand the phone back to Marianne. We get 2 more calls like that. Her daughter comes up to the counter and she says, "Can you bring this man one of each of everything?" So her daughter runs out to the truck and she comes back in with a grocery bag made of paper that's huge, that has like pamphlets in it. Why do Catholics believe this or do that? A Catholic Bible, and about 125 Lighthouse Catholic media discs.